Cocktail characters, cocktail characters coming to you.
Isn't that so frustrating? It's like, I'm not sorry for what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I got so frustrated.
Yeah.
That's but it's so frustrating.
It's so I'm sorry, but my point
but
still
I'm not
stands.
sorry.
Yeah,
I hate saying but it's also like,
I know, it's hard. Again, good night, sweetheart. And let's remember,
it's
forgive
rough.
mommy someday. We'll work through this together in therapy. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of kids,
we're
going to talk again about non-tradish parenting situations.
Because that's all we do.
That's like our life.
Like,
I feel sorry for my like friends. My friends. I was like, Jordan, like this week, a couple different times this past week, I'm like, can we not put our friends through talking about our kids, please? They need to have a break.
They need a break from our children. But then you're like,
that's
y'all have
that's our
stuff
life.
going on, though?
Like, that's what we do every day.
They have stuff going on.
Oh, sure.
Their kids have stuff.
Or they don't have kids, and I'm like, then this will help you understand why you probably shouldn't. Yes.
It's like staying, like when people are like, just stay like celibate or like
right
married or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? It's easier. Didn't Paul say that? It's easier.
He did. Yeah. Yeah. A lot less painful.
When you're talking about your kids, though, do you feel like people are good at listening? What are you expecting when you talk about your kids and it's a hard situation? Or do you tell people what you're expecting? Like, I just need you to listen, or I'm asking for advice, or do you clarify?
I think it's pretty evident that it's just a venting moment.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the people we tend to vent to know our kids really well. Yeah. And so we are open for, feedback.
Sure.
But most often I think it's just venting.
Yeah.
Like, this is so freaking hard. Just trying to figure that out. I don't know. What about you? When you talk about your kids, are you open? Are you looking for guidance, or are you just needing an vent, or what do you think?
I think there's definitely been moments that I've looked for guidance, especially when they're really little. I mean, all the time. I say that I'll probably be like in 20 years, like, I'm still looking for guidance.
I think that's that's a humble place to be too. Like, I can't always get this right on my own.
Venting. Well, I think too, like, and you just learn over the years, like, oh, these are who you can go to 100%. For different like things.
A different
like, I know
form
if I'm
of
going to go
communication.
to this person, I'm going to be getting
advice.
Right. Which, so then I just know either don't say
anything, or be ready for the advice.
Or be ready for advice. Yeah. So
doesn't take rocket science, I guess, to figure that out. Yeah. So we've been talking about our personal situations of our family lives and how it doesn't meet what would be the core, like, traditional parenting,
like 2.5
family.
Kids and a dog.
Yeah. 3 bed, 2 bath.
2.5 kids.
2.5 kids. Yes, exactly.
Mom
What are some assumptions that you think people might make about your family in particular?
I think single moms get a certain assumption as opposed to single dads, maybe. Like, I feel like there's like a lot of pity for single moms, and which sometimes I'm like, yeah, please pity the situation. It sucks. but most of the time, I don't like pity in general, honestly. Like, I don't actually like when people pity any sort of anything happening, really. I'm like, we're okay. Like, it's hard, but it's okay. And you never know what story they're telling themselves. But usually I feel like it's one where the other person somehow is like a villain. I'm like, oh, you don't need to do that. Like, you don't need to make anybody a villain in any situation,
sure.
So
that's true.
Yeah.
That's good.
But
that's how people feel they're being supportive, I think.
Yeah. Like, oh, we can be on the same side.
Yeah, I'm here for you.
I'm here for you. I'm like, thank you, and
we're good.
That's okay. Yeah, yeah. Which, I mean, hey, like, everyone needs support. So I'm not saying don't support people, but
right.
You know what I mean?
That doesn't always come in the form of like,
don't tell yourself a story if you don't know what the story is. So, anyways, what about you though? I'm sure. I don't know. What do you feel like you've had assumptions about?
I think so. People assume that. Like, the kids are probably just grateful that they have somebody that loves them, raising them, like that. Like, that's
an interesting assumption.
Yeah. That's something that
like somehow they're
like, that they're grateful that they've got us, kind of a thing. I bet they're so grateful they have you. I'm like, literally all they want is their parents. So that's what they want. Not me.
Right.
But I mean, of course that trust and resilience and stuff builds through together as a family, as and helping them feel the structure and the love and the support and all that stuff. It comes with time. But yeah, like that's kind of a big assumption. And also another one that's really hard, because I have a hard time, just because I me, I'm well, I don't know if you know this as much about me as other people who've been in my life for 25, 30 years, but I'm a person that's usually like quick to say things, what's on my mind. I've really learned finally, as I've gotten older, to filter better. But one thing that people will say, and it's, what a blessing. God has a reason for everything. And I have a hard time with that, just because of personal beliefs and how I believe the scriptures are and what God, his plan is and all that purpose and all that thing. But for me, that's a really hard one, because we couldn't have our own children naturally. So they're like, oh, see, God had a plan. I'm like, okay, I don't think his plan was, I have infertility. Now your sister gets to die, and then her husband gets to commit suicide, and now you get some kids. You're welcome.
Look at that little bow that you got.
Kind of worked out. Isn't that beautiful?
Look at a beautiful,
big happy family. Little bow on it.
Yeah.
And so people tend to, and I think but that's a natural way of people trying to help themselves and maybe you feel better and try to
100%.
It's just something that comes out of people's mouths because they've heard it.
Yeah.
And it feels like a nice thing to say, but I'm sorry, God's plan is not to orphan children. Like his heart goes to the widows and orphans, right?
Yes.
Jesus was all about widows and orphans. So I don't believe that. And so they make an assumption that, oh, look at you, got your little family now, congratulations. And I'm just like, I don't know if and maybe that's me putting like some more cynical thoughts and words towards it.
I think it's valid that you feel that way. I mean, it doesn't feel like, well, the bow got all wrapped up and good. Like everyone has a lot of pain in this situation.
Right.
And it is hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be hard too.
That's a tough one. So
how do you react to that when people say that?
If I'm being a calm, cool-headed, mature adult,
let's do that one first. Let's pick that option A,
because I've actually done it by A and B. A, because sometimes you get sick of hearing it. Yeah. A is, oh, thanks.
Yeah,
we're doing great. We're doing, doing as good as we can. We're hanging in there.
Option B. Option B.
Yeah, I don't think God's plan was for my kids' parents to die and for me to become their mom.
Yeah,
that's not his plan, and it's not that easy.
Yeah,
I've pretty much said that before.
Actually, that might be my option A for you.
Well, you know what? When I say the first one, I feel like this knot of burning that I'm not being honest.
Yes.
And that's really hard to tamp down for me. Option B is like, meh. I feel immediate release of just like, that's how it really is. It's not like that. It's like,
do you deal with anything later after you do? So, okay, in situations where it's like, I have immediate release and it feels more real and honest, later are you like, I should have tamped it down? Or
I do that with a lot of things in my life.
That is so... I'll say though, pause on that just for a minute. That is so frustrating, because sometimes in situations like, I want to be honest and you're
not allowed to be sometimes.
It's like you're not allowed, but then I'm like, I don't know what the rules are. Because then sometimes when you're honest and you walk around, you're like, well, that was too honest, or that was too.
I really ruined their day by actually being honest.
But then I'm like, God, I don't know. That's actually
tough.
Hard. Yeah,
that's a whole other topic of conversation, I think.
100%. Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think that's a big assumption, I think, there. Or sometimes, like people see things, I'm sure you feel the same way, or I shouldn't put that on you, but I feel like when most people see the times that we're doing really, really good, and they're just like, wow, these kids are you guys are just coming together beautifully. Look how great this is. And I'm like,
and you're like hanging on by a thread.
Yeah, I'm like, it sure is. Everything's great. Oh no. So I mean, those are the times. Not everybody needs to hear the full story, right? But
100%. We get that. I would say more in the form of like, wow, you guys co-parent so amazing. Okay. You guys are that's so great. And I would say for the most part, honestly, if you're comparing to other situations, that's probably true.
Right.
And
could it be better? Could it be easier? Yeah, probably.
And nobody knows the actual conversations happening behind the scenes or 100%. Anything, nobody knows that. But I would say that's probably another large assumption that we get to, is just the dynamics of everything.
Yeah.
Which I love that's what people assume. I'm glad that it's a positive assumption on that side of things, as opposed to it being like assuming the worst, you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Deep thoughts, Shaylea. I have to say, that I never truly understood the saying, it takes a village, until we got the kids.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, is there any specific person, or maybe not even a person, but how have you benefited from having a village in your situation? Has that been something that's been important to you?
I would say yes, it's 100% important. I'll be totally honest. I look back, I wish I would have been better about allowing people to be a village. I think I was living so much in I don't deserve a village, living out of like shame and guilt from the situation, that I kept people at arm's length a lot. And I didn't allow people really in, because when it was hard, the story I told myself was it's my fault and I deserved it to be hard and that I needed to figure it out on my own. And then if it was good, I almost didn't want people to see that it was good, because
I don't deserve for it to be good.
I don't deserve for it to be. I wanted to so badly live in a shell. So my parents were, as family dynamics are hard and everything, my parents 100% were my right hand people, still really are with my kids. I wish I would have been better about allowing friends in, but all my friend dynamics changed overnight, and not always for the better. And it was hard for them. And I feel like, I look back, I think I said this one time to my mom, because of the situation, I feel like I took everybody I loved and I put them in a room and I just set the thing on fire and then I walked away. And so to ask anybody for help after that just was like, I can't ask anybody for anything. I've done this to everybody. And it was awful. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thanks for sharing. That's a lot.
Yeah.
And I could see why it would be a lot harder to pull people into your circle and ask for help.
Yeah.
Wow. That's some deep stuff there. Like that carries over into, well, I'm glad to know that you're feeling in a space maybe now that you can allow that to happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Because maybe you've hopefully.
I definitely have worked through guilt and shame.
Yeah.
I think I definitely still am. I think that will probably be there forever at some level. I hope not, but even on, hard days with kids still, you're like, this is hard. And, people still say things and people still act certain ways. And so it's just always there. And that's just part of consequences of actions. Right. So I know that, but yeah, a time, I think we talked about this, like time doesn't heal everything. Time helps you learn how to, it gives you time to work through things in your own brain. Like, this is how I'm going to handle these situations. This is how I'm going to think about this differently. Just because somebody else wants that to be the story, this is what you know what I mean? Time helps you work through those things.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Time. I don't think time heals all wounds, because some wounds are unhealable, but they definitely, like you said, definitely gives you time to course correct or go around the wound and try to create a whole person again. Yeah. That's not broken all the time.
Right. Yes, for sure. Yeah. Or heal those things up. Yeah. What about for you with the village? I've heard you talk about it before. It was just huge.
That's huge. It literally saved our sanity.
Yeah.
And it came in all kinds of forms. It was really, really fun. And Evelyn's always been a really easy kid. So she was really easy to pawn. Like, people like, hey, I'm going to take Evelyn for the day and go show her a good time or whatever. And that was really good for her she learned the kids. We had such a important web of humans in our lives that we made it very clear very quickly to the people that could handle our truths that we were struggling with our situation, and it had not just to do with being parents to children that are traumatized multiple times over, but our own marriage and stuff. We were scared that we would get lost in this. Tensions would build and we'd have to like work through some parenting situations. And anyway, so we were able to take a lot of time up front. Like, people would like take the kids for the weekend. They would huge. They would give us there were certain ones that were always on deck to let us have a date night. And we took advantage of it every single time.
That's amazing.
All the time.
Yeah.
And because of that, our kids who don't have any cousins really, they have one cousin who's not really a cousin because she's Jordan's family.
Gotcha. Yes.
So I'm married into cousin situation, but they call each other cousins. Which is so adorable. They don't have any cousins because none of my other siblings and I have never had we've never had children. And then their other side, their paternal side, there are a couple of cousins, but they live like they've never really met them. They live across the country. Yeah. So it's just, there's no connection. Anyway, so they've created they've created cousin
relationships.
They have a ton of them.
That's amazing.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. And a lot of people in our court, like, that were really in tune with how we were wanting to raise the kids, and they would ask us lots of questions and honor our decisions, and you know, just give us all the details. I mean, like, we went right away after we got the kids. We'd already had like a week-long trip to Mexico planned. So my brother, his wife was out of town for some reason or doing something. She couldn't. So he came over. He spent the whole week with the kids, and he did all the stuff. Amazing. Like we didn't skip a beat for a while because we had such a good amazing village. Network. Yeah, it was really beautiful. So
that's amazing.
That actually changed everything. And I think I've talked about this in that book I read, the Oprah book, about how what happened to you.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what he says, is that doctor in there says, love, number one way to help heal trauma. Number two is having a support system. That's why it's really important for people to like join the Girl Scouts, join a church group, all those things. That's why people are drawn to that. And actually it's very healing. And that's the difference between like two kids in a very similar situation. One had that support group, one did not. And their lives took completely different turns. And they came, you know, like they had because of just that piece, not having a support group.
Which makes sense. I mean, we're like, I feel like we're such communal beings. We need relationships.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So in your specific situation, you got your kids, they were different ages. What has it been like explaining their story as they've gotten older? There's a lot of heart in it. What's it been like? Some of it they lived, and you don't need to tell them any part of that story, but is there explanations that are coming from things or questions they have, or has it, I'm sure it's changed at different seasons of their life.
Oh, of course. It's like anything else, as their brains get more able to handle deeper things or more painful things. Right. And they ask more questions too as they've gotten older. And if we felt that they were ready and they could handle the full hard truth, then we've given it to them. But but they also had people in their lives that were sometimes telling them too much. Oh, wow. When they were very young and and I was like, I don't think they can handle that. Yeah. And so there were some repercussions from that. And so we kind of reined it in a little bit. And, you know, I'm an over talker, so I'm ready to tell you all the truth from beginning to end. Hi, I just met you. Let me tell you everything. And so with the kids, it was more natural. It felt better to be more particular about what we shared and how we moved along. And they were such very different ages from each other. What a 9-year-old can comprehend versus what a 4-year-old can comprehend are two completely different things. Sure. But we also had two kids that were dealing with it in very different ways. And so we still struggle with one not wanting to really talk about much, and the other one wanting to talk about anything and everything with it, which is fine. Yeah. And so you just have to kind of pick what you do with each of them. And I do think too, like, there's been more honesty too as they've gotten older about, okay, so if I were a parent, I had bio kids, and when you say to them, wow, when I was your age, I had this same thing happen, or a very similar thing, let me tell you my experience, so we can relate to one another. And so you naturally do that with any children in your life, right? And I do that, but then they're so much like their parents, so much, good or bad, or indifferent, like whatever, that I'm just like, so when one of them's struggling with something very much that's in their DNA that Jordan and I cannot connect with, because that's something that we were not like that as kids or as teenagers or as adults. That's not a struggle, or that's not whatever. It's like it might help you to understand that your parent had a very similar situation, or they struggled with something very similar, or so that has been introduced a lot. And
has that been? So I'm just thinking about that. I've thought about that before with Amaya, but I don't know her parents. So has that been helpful to have an understanding of who their parents, like really intimately know who their parents are on a genetic level?
Well, I do think it's been helpful, but you also have to be really careful, because sometimes when it comes across, it can come from us. I think I want to be careful that it's not coming across as like villainizing their parent or making you're doing this naughty thing and that's what your parent was like. I'm trying to be really careful that that's not how it's coming across, because that's not the intention. The intention is, you know, you're struggling with this, and I don't personally understand it, but I think
This is where this comes
this is where this is coming
Yeah.
from, and you're not alone, and I'm sorry your mom's not here to walk you through this piece of life, because she would have done a much better job than me, because she struggled with this exact same thing. And let me tell you what happened, what I know, what I don't know everything, but there's been some funny stuff too, like Brady as a teenager, liking a girl or 2 or 5 or I don't know, and wanting to have a girlfriend all the time, and it's like, interesting, your mom liked boys a lot. Let me tell you how that went down with her and your dad, and how like she lived with me and they were sneaking around, and I was like, if you don't stop it, this is not a good matchup, and you're not behaving properly. You can leave, because she was living with us. My sister was.
I did not know that.
And we were like, I packed her. I called my mom and was like, come get her. I put all of her stuff on the front porch.
She was living with you and Jordan.
She was awful. Worst roommate ever. Well, I don't know. We've had another one that was pretty bad. Jordan's sister was a really good roommate. She kept to herself and paid her portion and stuff. But anyway, so it's like using that and being like, your mom was a brat. She was a rebel. Yeah. And she didn't care what your rules were. She was lazy. I mean, I know you think she's a perfect angel, but she wasn't. Let me tell you. So and that's not how we live our lives here. You have to clean up after yourself. Anyways, don't eat straight from the can and put it in the fridge. That's not how we work. That's how she was.
And that's all part of their story too.
It's part of their story.
It's part of them.
And it's something that they would never know, but it tracks, because they're so the same sometimes.
When those things come up with your kids, I don't know if you've ever asked them this, or if you can just tell from their demeanor, but do you feel like it's painful for them to learn what their parents were like?
I think it can be. Yeah, I think it can be all the time. Other times though, you can tell it kind of lights them up a little bit to learn something new, and feel connected. Maybe cool. Kind of create a bit of a connection there. I'm always like, observing. Right. How does this affect you?
How did this land?
Yeah. Was that a mistake? I won't do that again. Or maybe I will. I don't know.
I'm always taking in data.
Yeah, it gets to be exhausting sometimes. Yeah. But anyway, I think it lands well, but there's other times that I think can be painful, because I think about that, like, this is what it could have been like, but it's not.
Or hearing like, this person would have understood.
Yes, exactly. But they're not here, and I'm sorry. Yeah. Like,
that's hard for both of you.
Yeah,
hard for you and hard for them.
Absolutely. So I don't know. What about you?
I would say lots of things. One, I would say there's probably times where I felt like I can do anything. Like, I figured this all out. I can do it. I can provide and parent and all the things. And then I think there's times, today was a hard day getting ready for school, and you're like, and it had like, it's not limitless. And I think it teaches you how strong you are, and how much we weren't meant to do things alone, if that makes sense. Yeah. So it's something I actually am like proud of. Like, I'm proud that I've been able to, it's so weird to say you're proud to be a single parent. You're proud because it's so hard, and you're like, but I'm doing it, and you're showing up every day, and you're waking up, and you're trying to teach them and make them into good humans, and support them and love them and get them in activities, and like not feel like they're lacking anything because there's only one of you in a part. And then there's also times when you're like, oh my gosh, this is so hard, So probably both of those things. Just, you can feel, it's like a roller coaster. You feel on top of the world, and then you can feel at the bottom of the barrel, like in the matter of seconds.
That's exhausting. Talk about whiplash.
Yeah.
So because you have children that are bios, plus you've got adoption in your life, how did that expand your definition of motherhood?
That's a good question. Motherhood, I think, comes in multiple forms, right? So, and I feel like you would have a definition for this. And, my kids just got a new stepmom. So then there's that, definition of it. For me, I feel like I want my kids to have a lot of different input in their life. I want them to have a lot of different people who speak into them and love them and are there for them. And when I'm thinking specifically about motherhood, it feels just like I'm there for them. I am the one in the trenches raising them. I think that there's a lot of offshoots of motherhood. So if I'm just being honest, like that's been hard, right? Like, so they have a stepmom now, and has come into their life later in life, right? And that's a special relationship, and I want that to be so special for them. But because the reason I've had to think so much about it, because we've talked through it with my kids, like, okay, what's a mom, and then what's a stepmom, and what's the difference, right? So And with Amaya, I'm like, even though, so I can't use I carried all three of you.
Yeah,
I can't use
those
that.
words.
That's not the definition,
You're
right? So that's not a factor. So yeah, it's 100% played into things because I'm looking at her like, okay, well that doesn't work for her.
Yeah, sometimes just changing the language is hard.
Yeah, being a mom isn't just carrying a child in your stomach. That's not being a mom. That's not been the case for you. You're 100% their mom.
Right.
And I mean, like in the raising sense,
Right? You're a parent.
You're a parent. Yeah. So I think it's honestly been kind of challenging to find the words for it. But what I've landed at is I'm here. Like I am here. I've been here since the moment I like got you, saw you, since the moment I knew about you. So since the moment I knew about Amaya, since the moment I knew about my other kids, I'm here until something takes me off this earth. I'm with you. I love you. I will, as hard as it gets, we will figure it out, and you're always going to have a place. It's always going to be here. So, but it's hard to explain that to little kids too. So it's probably still a working definition through the rest of my life,
And it really does. It doesn't just expand your heart and your thinking on things whenever you insert different kids into your life through the different means, but it expands your vocabulary. It expands the way you interact with other people that are part of their lives and part of your lives. Like it changes the way you deal with your own family members. Yeah, because there's a lot of when you're relying on other people to help, then you also have to take into consideration they're going to have opinions about things. Yeah, because
yes. So you've probably run into that.
Oh, girl, don't even get me started.
Yeah,
we couldn't air that one.
It's not simple.
No, it's not.
It's not simple, and other people are going to have different definitions. Yeah, and so I don't know.
I really appreciate you. I know we've talked about this topic for a couple of episodes, and it may or may not resonate with everybody that listens or watches us, but it's something that I know for me, I always look for people that have been in my specific situation, and it's hard to find them. And that goes with not all situations, even if they're very similar, they're not ever going to be the same. Right. But I always appreciate finding people who are willing to talk about this kind of stuff and maybe give me perspective.
Yeah. Or even just be vulnerable about the hard things.
Yeah.
I feel like you do a great job of that.
Well, I'm glad we did this because I feel like there may be somebody out there that needs to hear something you just said today or in one of the other episodes or something me. You said, yeah. So I really appreciate talking about this because I know sometimes this topic can dig into some harder emotions and painful experiences, but I think that again, that vulnerability and that connection is always what we are looking for, individually and together and life. With other humans. Yeah. So really fun.
It's good.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, you too.
Southern Orchard Old Fashioned. Southern Orchard Old Fashioned.
This is a Lorraine situation.
100%. Lorraine's in. Lorraine's in. Welcome to the show, Lorraine. I didn't want to go find apricot liqueur, so I decided to do jam because I always keep apricot jam at my house. So about a teaspoon of apricot jam. And we're going to take a couple dashes of this bitters.
And you'll just want to try the jam to make sure.
Make sure everything's
it's good.
On point. And then you're going to stir to dissolve the jam and the bitters. Like get the jam dissolved. It's crazy on there. Ooh. And then I'm going to do a half ounce of pure maple syrup. Yink.
Has to be pure.
Pure maple syrup.
Don't buy the pancake syrup. Just get your pure. Get your pure maple.
And then we're going to do 2 ounces of bourbon.
We're using bullet for this.
Obvi. Again. Let's stir that up.
Happiest I've ever been. You can smell the apricot.
I can't wait. Okay.
I don't see an apricot chunk in there.
Let's do a little garnish on that, huh?
Yeah.
We got to make it purty.
I have a reputation to uphold with proportions here. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. You know what, guys? Sometimes you fail. Sometimes you nail it.
Okay, so I didn't have an orange, so we're using a cutie. Same diff, right?
It's the exact same thing.
Oh, yeah, just a mini orange. Do you want to express these?
Express yourself. Grossest term you say.
Would you like to express the orange?
You don't have to like rub it down.
To Chinatown. Press it.
Lorraine.
Lorraine. She's
Lorraine.
Here. Lorraine. We've got a Southern Orchard Old Fashioned, my friends.
Welcome to the party, Lorraine.
It's disgusting. Never make this.
You'll hate it.
And you'll never want to have it again.
And you'll never be friends with Lorraine.
Nope.
You don't deserve her.
Lorraine is obviously wearing an apricot colored dress. Or would it be flowy pants?
It's the flowy pants
think
with
it's
an
a
apricot.
Sweater. Sweater. I think it's a sweater. I was not expecting a sweater. I think it's a sleeveless sweater. Oh, that's cute.
I know. I kind of want all these outfits with this with like a leather mule.
Shoe.
Yes. She's adorable.
She's so
She's
cute.
flowy. She's breezy. But she's proper.
She's buttoned up.
Yeah, she is.
But she's also flowy breezy. How does she do it, Lorraine? How does she do it, Lorraine?
Oh, God, that's good.
These are really good. And honestly, the orange around the...
Yeah.
It's good.
You rimmed it.
Okay, how do you make this?
Oh, my gosh, that's so good.
This is so good.
Stop it right now, and I mean it.
It's
Okay.
amazing.
Lorraine. So we're
Lorraine
going
in your sleeveless sweater.
So
Okay.
one of the things instead of using, I didn't want to go buy apricot liqueur. And sometimes, I don't know, whatever. So who cares? So I have apricot jam. You stir about a teaspoon of apricot jam. Apricot? What do you say?
Apricot.
I
But
say
then sometimes
apricot.
if I'm feeling crazy funny, I'm like, apricot.
So take a teaspoon of that and a couple of dashes of regular bitters and stir it up till it's nice and smooth. And then you put 2 ounces of bourbon, half an ounce of pure maple syrup, shake it with some ice, and then ta-da! We did a garnish of some orange peel.
The pairing of the different sweeteners with bourbon, it's so important. It makes
so
such a
good.
difference in your drink.
It does, 100%.
And you know who understands that?
Lorraine.
Ever heard of her?
Yes,
I have. She's my best friend.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can email us at cocktailcharacterspod@gmail.com.
Yes, or you can like, follow, subscribe, all of the above. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we are on Facebook, we are on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify. So please find us on all those platforms or whichever one you prefer.
Yeah, we love it. And special thanks to our production crew, our one-man show, Gabe.
Yes.
Keeping it together for us, Highland Forge Media.
Yes, he's amazing. This podcast would not have happened without him. The consistency, the level of production. It's
Fantastic.
all gotten better since they've been involved.
So yeah, it's been wonderful.
Thank you so much.